Okay, I think this is happening. Giving me a different kind of messaging. Okay, it's streaming. Okay, we are live, I believe. Guys, can you see on LinkedIn? Is it showing that we are live?
Not yet.
No?
No, it says the same thing starting soon.
Wow.
Waiting for the host. Event will start soon, waiting for the host to start.
Okay, restream is showing that I'm live. Only LinkedIn is not streaming.
Okay, you're good. It's streaming.
Yeah? Awesome. Okay, beautiful. Thank God. I'm waiting to see
No,
the
it
LinkedIn.
says the same thing starting soon.
No, it is showing it.
Waiting for the host. Event will start soon.
No, you have to reload the page. And somebody had a comment to reload the page because we are live. Okay, guys. We are live. Reload the page if you are not seeing me live. Okay. Can you guys see me?
Yes, you're live.
And can you hear me there? Can you mute here and check whether it's
Yeah, I checked.
okay. And I think we should, in the event, Elam, can you do me a favor? In the actual event itself, can you add a comment that people should reload it in case they're not seeing me live? Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting patiently for me. I'm Sudha Jamthe, and this is SudhaLive. And given that we combine this with Weekly Wed, this is our last SudhaLive of the year. That means I get to bring you our holiday learning plan. And this year's holiday learning plan is all about AI. I'm Sudha Jamthe. I'm a technology futurist and joining you here from Business School of AI, my learner community right here on LinkedIn. And in the Zoom here, I'm joined by my team and a couple of my students. I'm happy to see you all. So those of you who are here on Zoom came here from signing up from the Weekly Wed list. And you are welcome to add your comments and questions as we go through this holiday learning plan. And for those of you who are on LinkedIn, thank you for joining me. I am going to be asking a lot of questions because I love that when I teach. And so I hope you will engage and give me your answers on your on the comments right here on LinkedIn. I'm going to check that primarily. This is also streaming on YouTube just to get a backup copy, but I'm not going to be able to look at comments there. So if you're watching me on YouTube, please come here to LinkedIn and the live should show up right here on my profile and we are ready to go. Okay, so I see a comment here. Yes. Okay. Oh, more people joining. Welcome. We're just getting started. We had some tech trouble with Zoom. Of all things, we had tech trouble with Zoom. Can you imagine that? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have a deck that I'm going to share. Let me share that. You see me? Okay. Are you able to see the deck? Yeah. So here we are at our holiday learning plan. And I've already introduced myself. And I just love mentoring my learners and you make me smart. So I'm very grateful for that. Okay. So what you're going to learn today is this is, I think, my third year doing the holiday learning plan. And remember, I'll come back and quiz you in the beginning of the year. But I'll give you a lot of options so you can do this at your own pace. So I'm going to share the top topics. That's quite a tongue twister. I'm going to teach you the top topics to learn in AI. It's not going to be a big list, but I'm going to share my three top topics, but also I'm going to give you three different pathways to learn AI. So based on whether you're an advanced learner, whether you're new to AI or you like AI in specific industries or devices, you can actually choose one of the pathways that work for you. I'm going to be giving you a lot of resources along the way. thank you everyone joining here on Zoom. Feel free to add comments and engage. We are recording this and streaming this, so if you speak or you are on camera, then you're going to be in the recording. Okay. And then the new thing I've added this year is I'm going to give you a career pivot template. What is that? So it's like step-by-step plan on how to actually pivot your career into AI, and if you're in different stages of learning AI, how to go about it and become an expert, get to a comfort level, get to a job and career growth. I've actually done this as a career advice session with some of my students in the past. I don't have bandwidth to do that anymore, so I just found that, and I just thought, oh, that would be a good one to share with our learners here. Okay, so for those of you who are joining here, I'm actually going to see whether I can bring this to a smaller size, because that will let me see the link. Is this working for you guys, or I need to be in the full slide share more? Is this all right or no? Because
It's
then
all
that,
right, Sudha.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so these are the things we are going to learn today. And this deck that I'm presenting is also going to be available. So what I'm going to do is at the end of this, if you sign up on Weekly Wed on the mailing list, and I'm actually going to give you the URL again for those of you who are on LinkedIn here. If you sign up there, we're going to follow up and send you this deck, give you an option to download this so you have access to everything. Because I'm also, my style is not just to keep talking. I like to, ask a lot of questions, but also I like to show demos, like give you resources. So you're not just saying, oh, it sounded amazing when I was in the class. And then when you go back and say, what is that URL and how did she do this, right? So the starting point is I'm going to show you a picture and I want you to tell me, what do you see in this photo? And people in my team have already seen it. I see Deepika and Elam here. Feel free to add a comment. It's okay. What do you see in this picture? So, as a normal person, what do you see in here? So let me go to LinkedIn. And I've shown the picture here. Yes. I want to go to LinkedIn and see what your comments are. So I'm going to stop the share. Have you seen it? You see a Christmas tree, you see a gingerbread house, you see a lot of different characters and snow, and there's some signage up there. Do you see all that? What else do you see? Okay, I'm going to go to LinkedIn, to the live.
Go to LinkedIn.
This is what I was trying to avoid.
So,
Okay, I just went to the live on LinkedIn so that I could see you guys, and obviously it did a reload on me. Okay. Ben, wonderful to see you. Okay, I love it when I see my old students. I see Aaron. Thank you. Thank you for commenting. I just came to LinkedIn to live to see you guys. Thank you, Elam. So, so here we are. So I showed you a picture, and I wanted to ask you, what do you see? You see a gingerbread house. Okay. What else do you see? What else do you see? What else did you see in that picture that I was sharing?
Holiday spirit.
Holiday spirit. Okay, that's more than I was expecting, but thank you. So when you see a picture as a human being, you see the picture itself, you see the gingerbread house, you see a fun winter scene. That's right, you see Christmas tree. Thank you for that. So you see things that you can visually see it, right? Now, what do you think an AI sees in the picture? So the easiest way I would like to do it is I would like to ask an AI. So the number one lesson of today, other than me giving you, the top topics and discussion around that, is for you to understand an approach on how you can learn AI and whatever stage of learning you are in. And I see many of my students here, and this, right? You don't have to take my word for it. And the space is, exciting. There is a lot of hype around it. There is a lot of possibilities because it is constantly moving. And there is so much. So there's like a new tool every day, new technology, new jargons. And so the easiest way is AI is pervasive, AI is everywhere, and AI is interacting with us as data. That means there should be an AI for you to test anything. Whatever I say, don't believe me or don't believe anyone that is saying anything in any of the articles or news. Test it for yourself. Okay. So we saw a picture which showed a gingerbread house and holiday scene, Christmas spirit, and all that, right? So let's see what AI is going to see. So what I'm going to do is, let me share my screen here. I'm going to go in and out of sharing my screen, guys. That's the only way I can do this, so that I can come back to LinkedIn and see your comments also. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I am going to, I've gone to Azure. So this is the Vision Studio of Azure, and it offers object detection. And object detection is a computer vision model. So that's one of the hot topics. I believe, cameras are everywhere. There is images everywhere, and images and videos have a lot of possibilities. So I think computer vision in any form is something that should be, table stakes for anyone in the AI space. So don't just get carried away with, oh, LLM and, all the amazing Gen AI stuff. Are not so amazing Gen AI stuff too, but the traditional AI with machine learning, classification, object detection is still hot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to browse a file. I don't know what it is going to find for me. I don't want all the screenshots. I just have this picture of the ginger bread house. So I just got it, and immediately it is doing object detection. That's what this interface, and it is free. I have not signed in. If you sign in, you can use their API, you can use their SDK, you can do a lot of things, but then you get into the paid mode. So I always like to give you the basic that you can just try, follow along if you want, right? So what I did is, I just browsed and took the picture in, and it's not seeing the tree. It is seeing the teddy bear, and you can see the threshold level is set for the degree of confidence, because all AI is making predictions. So I'm keeping it at very low threshold so it can find a lot of things. It can find many teddy bears. It can find some toy. It is not spotting the gingerbread house. It thinks this is a toy on top of the gingerbread house. It is not exactly a toy. It's a design, but it thinks it's a toy with 50% confidence. That's like flip of a coin. And it does not recognize the tree. That is sad. So I just wanted to share this. I didn't even want to, find a difficult picture. I was, flying recently, and this was in the airport. That's why you see standby may require an increase in fare, because this was on a screen just above this picture. And the thing is, this is a painting. The gingerbread house is a painting. So even if it did not see the gingerbread house, I might, make an assumption and say, maybe it is able to see it's a painting, but the tree is real. The tree is a physical 3D object. So there is a depth in this picture, and this is a painting. And these are all like little toys that they've kept there, again, 3D. So, maybe it recognizes it. So I want you to pause and think about this. You know, we saw more than just um, the images, right? We saw Christmas spirit, holiday scene, and all that stuff. But is there anyone who works in computer vision who's here? Andy Edmonds. Oh, so wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining. Andy is an amazing person I worked with. Okay, thank you, Andy. Andy is actually sharing a site called po.com to offer a face blurring app. Thank you so much. I'll definitely check it out. I appreciate that. So Aaron is saying a pixel set chunk matching. What do you mean by that, Aaron? Can you elaborate that a little bit for me? So the point I wanted to make with the gingerbread house was simple, that we see something in AI and AI sees something else. And so we cannot assume that, the AI is seeing the world, perceiving the world. We also saw holiday cheer and Christmas spirit and all that stuff, but that is a little more than we can ask. But even for it to visually see the design of what we are seeing, it is not seeing all of that. So I just wanted to make that important point for us to get started. And I also wanted to give you this, there's a tool for everything. So I use the Vision AI, right? Vision Studio. So what are the top topics we are going to learn today? So instead of saying, hey, I am the expert, I know it, I keep on searching. And I worked with people like Andy, who are brilliant people in eBay, who have kept me grounded, but also like curious to learn. So that's why I like to do this with my learners, to find smart people, ask me questions, and challenge me, so that I'm not just saying I think this is the top topics, right? So one of the resources out there to find out what are the top trending topics in the technology world is Gartner's Hype Curve. And that is published every year. And I actually did a fun exercise did here on a weekly web. This is our Zoom classroom session that we do with our learners once a month or twice a month now. Uh, I did one to look at the Gartner Hype Curve from 2016, and it turned out that the top topic, I was teaching IoT at Stanford at that time, and that was top of the hype curve. Then I was teaching self-driving cars, and that was the next year in 2017. That was the one. Then I was teaching traditional AI, and that was there. And when I did my Gen AI book, and that was the top of the hype curve. It's just, I tell you, I don't go look for it, because there are brilliant people at Gartner who are also looking at the trends and coming and getting to that. The way I look at it is, if something is a trend, obviously you'll hear a lot about it, but it has to stay on, because in technology industry things come and go, and there's a wave, right? Something that I worked with mobile many years back, pre iPhone, I'm dating myself, but it comes back, and then there's iPhone and Android, and there's new technologies, right? So if something is here to stay, it has to create value, it has to change. And so the thing with AI is, there's a lot of speculation on, oh, it is changing the world, and is it going to become sentient? There's a lot of things, and then there's a lot of promise with the technologies that we are seeing. The Vision API, the one we saw right now, is brilliant, and there are equivalent Vision Studios, Vision APIs from other technology companies. I'm not affiliated with any brand, so I'm not endorsing anyone, but I found this very useful. So in my recent Edge AI course that's on LinkedIn Learning, I actually used Azure Studio to teach some things related to to objects and computer vision on the edge, because cameras is one of the edge devices that I love and I think has great potential. So coming back, thinking about AI, not taking it in face value, is one lesson. And the other thing is, looking at the Gartner hype curve. I'm going to share the screen again. So I will show that to you, and we will say what they have. Okay, so this is what is their latest. And you can see things like the AI agents is at the top. So these are the topics that are trending through the year, and they are at the top of the hype curve. And then it comes down, and this is, so there is some research about how with technology we have a higher expectation on hot topics, and then some of them fall into this trough of disillusionment, or they climb up back into the slope of enlightenment, not entitlement. Some of them in the AI world are in this entitlement world too. Slope of enlightenment, and then it gets to productivity. And those of us who are in enterprise are like, where's the ROI? How is it going to get productive? So you can see responsible AI has been hovering around here, and responsible AI has taken like many different forms. So agent governance is a topic that is bubbling up, and I'm doing some research on that. And occasionally I publish research, otherwise I'll end up publishing lessons. But on the governance stuff, I have some agent governance is a hot topic. There are like many approaches. Different people are doing different things on that. So you can see that. And foundation models was like a big thing just before ChatGPT launched 2022. And now it is kind of, it's kind of in the trough of disillusionment. I'm not sure if it is in the disillusionment, but it is still there. Synthetic data was a big thing, and so that has also come down. Age AI, they are saying, is here. I believe age AI is something that is an important topic. I think it is going to, it has potential and is picking up into this slope climbing up. And there's a lot more, neurosymbolic AI and, this AI Trism. I had to Google it. I think it is something related to trust. It expands, so you can try that if you want. Multimodal AI came with this. So this is what they are talking about. This is not what I am talking about. I will tell you my top 3 topics. I believe traditional AI with computer vision and machine learning and deep learning is still here. So if you're new to AI, you should learn the basic of how AI works. And I'm going to give you a scary slide, and then I'll give you resources on how to learn this without getting too scared. So the other thing is, I've been talking to my team about, okay, what do we do next year? What kind of things are, what are my next set of courses? What should I be working on? And I have a new book coming up related to large language models for linguists, because I like to teach a new audience who are not coders, who need to come into the AI world. So I've taught AIX design, and obviously, you're all here already. So I was looking at data and language data sets, and I'm also, I also have a course on Glean AI, and that is all about getting the enterprise data ready and using LLMs to access them. And then I was very happy to find, so I was just talking to, a colleague in LinkedIn about how we need AI ready data. It's not, earlier, all AI, all data, data trains AI. And so AI is training data. And then we have data that is talking from the AI, right? So when the AI makes a decision and says, yes, this is a prediction I'm seeing, it is coming in the form of data. It could be visual data like images, or it could be sound, or it could be numbers, or it could be invisible sensor data, but it is talking data, right? So data in the context of AI in the past has been, hey, let's get training data. Let's see what AI is predicting, and that is data. Let's do feature engineering. Let us make sense of this data. Let's retrain it and all that stuff, right? So that has been the relation of data and AI. But with Gen AI, they just went and scoured the internet and got all possible data without permission, stolen content. But that was the data, right? And so suddenly it looked like, hey, we have corporate data, we need RAG systems, we need to do fine tuning, and we are going to collect data sets, right? That has been the relationship of data to Gen AI. But now when rubber hits the road and we start building applications in the enterprise, then all the enterprise data sets show up and say, okay, now how do we, access customer data? How do we understand production schedules? How do we understand? How do we optimize for sustainability in our buildings? And all that information is sitting in different data silos inside the enterprise. Then with agent AI, we are saying agent AI is going to automate AI using the reasoning power of LLM, and it is going to use data sources, right? And so it is going to use memory, it is going to use data sources. And then that data goes back to enterprise data, back in the silo. It's not very clear. Those who understand it are pulling in the data. So that is what I'm calling as AI ready data, data that can talk to agents. And how to get that data to talk to AI is an important topic. I'm not seeing enough technology. I'm not seeing anything in that space, but I just see the need for it. I see a little bit of scramble that is happening in the enterprise as people are trying to figure this out as they are building agentic applications. Okay, so coming back, I'm going to move past this back to my slide to show you where I'm going with this. So what we have spoken about is, I just gave you an example of an AI and said, check it out using a real tool, and think about what AI sees and what we see. And then I just showed you a tool out there, Gartner's hype curve. So you can actually go poke around and say, I like this, I don't like this, and then whatever your role, I believe there is a place for you in AI. So as you're getting into this AI space and say, I'm going to career pivot, I'm going to find growth for myself, I'm going to find my place with AI. This is one of them. In fact, I'm very happy that Andy Edmonds has found time to be here on LinkedIn. Andy is one of my favorite colleagues from my past who actually comes with a brilliant engineering mind and a design mind. And he brought UX design and data together. I mean, I used to work in analytics. Andy used to challenge us saying, I want to be able to create visualization and I want to create design patterns using data. And we were analysts looking at analytics for business growth or for understanding how to, design the next product feature. And so, and there was also marketing analytics. And here Andy came in and said, can we provide data and tie it to design? So the world of AI has brought various different silos together. And so you might come at it from your passion, your interest, and, figure out how you bring AI into a different dimension. So I want you to think about, I don't want you to lose that in your frenzy to find a job, in your eagerness to learn AI and fit in. You don't need to fit in because there is nothing to fit in because AI is kind of open and is changing every day. Okay. So what is your top challenge in learning AI? And you can answer in the chat. Most, I'll tell you one thing, most of my students basically say, I don't have enough time. You can add that if that's your challenge too. But I want you to think about this. Take a moment to think about this. If you're trying to learn AI, there are several courses out there, including mine. There are several news articles, pundits, and so much stuff out there. What's your top challenge in learning AI? And I'm going to stop the share so I can go back to look at your comments here on LinkedIn. Aaron has actually commented on this cluster of pixels finding anti-alias changes to define borders. That's very interesting thinking. I love it. Thank you for that, Aaron. Okay. So Ben is actually saying, I agree with your perspective on the looming challenges enterprise faces. While employees in agenting AI infrastructure, inviting your collaborator. Okay, it's a long message. Let me just check. Oh, okay, I will read the link that you have given here, Ben. Thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate the validation because, I remember you came with a whole bunch of colleagues from the enterprise space, SAP at that time, if I remember right. Okay, so I'm seeing the answers for the challenges. It's broad and moving too fast. Top challenges is about allocating sufficient time to learn, apply and explore. Time is always something I told you all my students did, and Ben is one of my students. He validates that. The relevance in a few years is a very important one. If everything is shifting, if you learn something, would that go out of fashion? And all the time you invested, would that go away? So those are all fantastic questions. Fantastic thoughts on what are the challenges. Yes, time becomes an important thing. And I actually had one of my students share a video about how she found time. She took one of my classes thinking she's going to audit, and then she ended up, staying back. Um, um, okay, sorry. This is why I need to be in the slide share mode. So my take on the challenges is you have to understand it goes with what you guys are saying on if I learn something, is it going to go away? So what is hype versus real? A lot of you have focused on that, right? What is it that I should be focusing on? How will I spend time for it if I learn something and if that goes away? So I think discerning what is hype versus real is a very, very important skill that you have to develop. And I look at AI, if it is going to create value for someone, I will see whether it is ethical. And I'm going to give you a resource of good use cases. There is let me share, let me see if I can find that link right here. This is from the University of Texas at Austin Law School. They are creating an AI opportunity inventory, and you can contribute to this. And I believe somewhere when you click, you can actually you can see their raw AI opportunity bank, and they're going through a proper vetted process. It's not some random things. So I would suggest, I don't know these people, but I would suggest check them out because they mean well to think about this. Oh, I know BKWLO. they are thinking about AI, not just AI for good, but good use cases. So you can submit an opportunity here, or you can go look at the Google Sheet that they've made public also. Okay. So I'm coming back to the deck. So good use cases, I believe, is important because there's a lot of unethical use cases of AI that also is creating a bunch of hype and a lot of noise about, AI being bad as a big, as a broader terminology. And I think recently, I think Howard Berkman Klein Center did a talk about how people are either they are, big believers of AI, or they are projecting doom, or they are very suspicious of AI on the unethical use of it and saying, I don't want anything to do with it. And they were saying there's like three profiles of people who are evolving in this world of AI. And you'll see noise and comments and everything from all of them. So you need to find your place. If you're going to be engaged in AI and learning AI, what is ethical AI? What does not look like ethical? And you will not be able to, go to bed if you work on it that way. And what are some good use cases so that while you're doing this, it is here to stay and it creates value. Otherwise, there will be hype and it'll go away. And then other than that, there's also jargons that is also hype. So you need to make sense of that, right? So that's the use case list I gave you. So the way I look at it is three topics that are trending. One definitely is agents, agents, agents. And I actually found that, I have, several courses on LinkedIn Learning. I used to teach at Stanford and at Barcelona Technology School and a couple other places where I was adjunct and stuff. But all my courses looking back in this year have been on LinkedIn Learning, and I love working with the LinkedIn Learning team. And I have a team who works with me to support and create quality courses on LinkedIn Learning. So my Agent AI course that was published last October picked up, and I have like 50,000 plus students coming just learning agents, asking for more. And that is a hot trend. And what agents have done is taken the hype of the large language models and said, hey, now can we give it a programmatic interface and automate for real? And that is what agents are. And I'm going to show you one of my agents lesson so that we get to the same page if you're not into agents. Okay, so agents. And AGI is AI on devices. And I'm going to talk about software-defined vehicles, which is also a new thing bubbling up. Especially those of you who have taken my autonomous vehicle courses would love it, because my recent courses I'm teaching using autonomous vehicles as examples because they have every possible AI. So I have an AI design using autonomous vehicles. There is the recent AGI course that just dropped a couple of weeks back. Also, I'm teaching using just autonomous vehicle, autonomous mobility vehicles as example. Okay, so those are the top three topics, and I'm not just going to leave you with that. So I told you there's going to be three pathways. So the way to think about this, here are the topics, the three pathways. So I would recommend you need to learn AI. Like I said, you need to learn general AI, right? So this is the list I have put together, and I'm going to give you this deck so you will have access to it. And my courses cover all of this, and there are other resources out there too. So you need to know the types of AI: traditional AI, composite AI, Gen AI. But at a fundamental level, whether you're coding or not, you need to know the inner workings of how AI works. That's when you will know what is ethical, what is hype, what is not real, right? And then you need to know, as you're hearing about different models, how do they work? And traditional AI I already mentioned, Gen AI I already mentioned, and there are all these terminologies like, hallucination and modalities. And then you need to have a little bit sense of ethics on, okay, is it biased or fair, or is it transparent or explainability? What are safety aspects of it, and things like that, right? So these are all the things that I think are the thing. And I know how you feel, too many topics, right? So the way to think about it is I would recommend just pick a topic, and I believe it has to be related. If you're new to AI, it needs to teach you basic AI. If otherwise, you should learn agents. And then I'll tell you, if you're already learned agents, I'll tell you you need to learn a little bit more about implementation of agents or governance of agents. So let's get to that. So, and I would recommend 60 minutes. And yes, you're getting ready for the holiday. It's been a long year. If this can be overwhelming, but this is going to, get you into the exciting space of AI and create career growth and stuff. So you can actually, the three pathways I was saying is, if you're relatively new to AI, I have two courses on, learning basic AI or learning Gen AI. Those two, I think you should understand and learn. And these are, again, less than 1 hour courses. If you're into devices and physical modalities, like cameras and stuff, then Edge AI is one, AI for IoT, those are the topics that I think is useful. And then comes agent AI, right? So that's how I would think about it, as, you either go into agents if you already know, a basic AI and advanced, you're at advanced level, then I'll tell you where to go with agent AI. If you're working with devices, then I think you need to know how Edge AI operates, what is AI on IoT, and that's where the software-defined vehicle comes in. Okay, I'm coming back to LinkedIn to see whether you have any comments. For those of you who are here, are you seeing this? Are you seeing any other topic that we are missing and say, oh my God, this is what I'm hearing out there and I should be learning this, what is going on? Is there something I can give you? Because I believe in like making sure everything is available as a resource. It cannot be, just like talking and going away. Yeah. So let me see. Is there any other topic? Does this resonate with you? Who's out here? Who out here has taken any of my courses? If you've taken a course, tell me what course you've taken. Okay. Ben has a thoughtful comment always. Okay, so I love it. Um, I love it when people are having conversation with each other. That's beautiful. You can continue. And one of the things I always say is, when you come to any of my sessions or on Zoom here on Weekly Wed, it's not just about talking to me or the speakers I bring, right? This, all of you are experts in your field. You bring real industry experience and beautiful questions. So that's fantastic. Okay, so going back. So the easiest place, let me give you a link for that. Um, Let me share that. I shared, yes, I did share a lot of list saying, hey, why don't you learn this from sharing a PowerPoint? So I promised to give you resources. So where am I? I'm going to go to my courses. So if you go to Business School of AI, that's my learner community. You can go to LinkedIn at this Business School of AI. That's where LM posts little clips from all the different lessons and you'll find all the latest. Or you can come to Business School of AI and click on courses, and it'll lead you the way I was showing you, the two courses for the basic learners who are new. Or if you are into IoT and autonomous vehicle, there are these other courses. The Edge AI is the newest one. And agentic AI, you can take it'll give you a solid foundation of agentic AI. This is the one I've had like 50,000 people take. And I also have an AI trend course that's done with a bunch of LinkedIn learners, LinkedIn instructors that I contribute to, and I have contributed one on physical AI. So this is a good place that is your resource to get started. And I also wanted to show you the software-defined vehicle. I was there at the first autonomy day at Tesla, and I was very excited to see Rivian has come with an autonomy, and they call it Autonomy and AI Day because AI is the hard thing. So I have no affiliation, so I'm not going to give any of those videos from here. But they've shown what is, what they have as a software-driven vehicle. It's very beautiful, and they have a lot of information right here. So this might be a good one for you to check out. What is a software-defined vehicle? And it's a lot of AI, but also a lot of deep learning on the edge of the device. And Rivian is talking about their own AI chip, just like Tesla had. They built it on ARM, and this is for car cognition and making sense of the data. So it's doing edge AI processing on the edge. That is why I'm very pleased that my edge AI, Learn Edge AI with Autonomous Vehicle is my course. And this is exactly what they're doing. And so if you're not you working with devices, you might say, oh, I'm not working with devices, but go check it out. And it is not going to be limited to, it's not just about in your job. If you're working on software, yeah, everything is on the cloud and they give me a framework from IBM or Google or something. But understanding that there's devices all around us, there is things all around us, even medical devices and cameras monitoring us. It's healthy to understand what is possible, and then all our cars are connected, and I'm a big believer of that. So it is going to be cars are having edge AI and autonomy. So I think it is important to understand how is it done and what is your place in that. Okay. So I said three technologies, and I promised to give you a little bit more on the AI side, on the edge analytics side of things. And I gave you an option to take courses just to learn for in 1 hour. So I've kept that promise. I promised to show you a little bit on the agent stuff, because I don't, especially I don't want you to, hear me talk about jargons and leave at that. So in my designing a agentic AI course, here is designing agentic AI products. Here is a design framework. So when they say design framework, this is not UX design. And I want you to know that if for building agents, implementing agents, understanding agents, you need to know this one topic of this agent design framework. Now we will learn how we can design one or more LLMs to work together to become successful agent AI. There are many different ways we can design this. This is called agent design framework. This is an evolving area of agent AI research. You may add your own design approach as you begin building out agents for your customer use cases. I'm going to teach you the common agent design frameworks that you will need. Okay, so when you're implementing agents today, all the top tech companies have their own framework that builds on top of a cloud, and they give a bunch of tools. You have to start with planning. Reflection is how the agent reflects on its own output, whether it is meeting the goals that you want it to meet. So it's a lot of different things, but these are the industry terms for it. So and a lot of this is called MAC, or multi-agent collaboration, where it's not one agent, you build a bunch of agents and then it gets into a workflow. So this is what you hear as design. This is not UX design. I want you to understand that. And so if you're going to build agents, if you're going to implement agents inside the enterprise, all these frameworks are going to have this aspect of the agent. So if you're already into agents, you've taken the basic agent course, then I think that's a very great start to kind of build that. And I'm a big believer of, work with the community or a buddy, build a project or do some research publication. For example, I'm working on a project in the new year on agent governance. I'm actually working on a paper. And then on agents, I'm working on a research, like an A/B tested research project to put agents on an autonomous mobility robot and see what is the right way to do that. Even for governance, I like to do hands-on test and see what works. So I do projects like that in my community. If you're part of our weekly web community, or if you're part of Business School of AI on LinkedIn, you will see those. But I would recommend try to do something that's more hands-on, so that gives you the confidence, and that would be the best way for you to build on that 1 hour of example that I'm telling you. Okay. And then I just wanted to share one thing from one of my students who has worked with me in the past. Yashashwini has actually working on agents, on implementing agents. She did a talk on contextual engineering, which is the next step of getting implementation of using agents. It's available in our YouTube. And Elam, can we also share the context engineering, maybe a little clip on Business School of AI when we come back in the new year. So Yash is actually promised to do a free webinar on the live lab on agentic AI on 10th January. So if you have signed up at the weekly web list, which I'm going to share again in a minute, then you will get the invite to this. I'll share more information on this. She's actually going to do like a paid session on a live lab course for like an intro to agentic AI using Python. If your Python is rustic, you can learn that. This is more for hands-on, not the no-code version. And then the webinar, we will teach you about the live lab, and also like, free demos, and, not coding one. But then she's going to do a two-part lesson, and it's going to be in the weekends, on agentic AI intros and the various frameworks and Python for it. And then the actual hands-on lesson will be 2 hours, I believe, where you will build it using a collab. So this is what Yash is promising, and I will share information on this if you have signed up with me at Weekly Wed. Okay. And here is the Weekly Wed link. And I've promised you one more thing, which is the career plan I told you. So the Weekly Wed link, let me give that, and then I will show you the career pivot link, the plan that I was telling you about. I see that. I'm going to close all my extra windows. Okay. So you can actually go to Weekly Wed right here at bit.ly/weeklywed registration. Yelam, can we actually put this link out on the chat? So this is the link by which you will, join our mailing list and get invited to the Zoom to join this or the other speaker series. In here, I will also make sure that you get a follow-up. You'll get this deck that I've shared, all the different resources that I've shared today will be there. And I will also share Yash's plan for the webinar she's planning on the 10th. So the last thing I'm going to show you is, okay, this all sounds great. I said, for those of you who are interested in the IoT or the devices, the software-defined vehicle is one topic. If you're if you're new to AI, I gave you a big laundry list. I gave you a bunch of courses option. And understanding hype. The best way to understand hype versus real is to just get in and learn how AI works. And then you go like, that doesn't make sense. That looks like hype. And then look for ethical use cases, good use cases. I shared that link from the Texas University that at Austin. That is a good one for you to even get ideas on what is possible. And then the big one is agents, and agents governance. I don't have any resources out there that I have seen. So I tend to build courses or write material on things that is not out there, so that I can, share my original thinking, and I like to research to get there. Otherwise, it is, if I have a pointer, I'll just give you the pointers for those. So I'm not seeing that on agent governance yet. So I will be publishing something. On the implementation, Yash's webinar is a great start to think about it. So if you've not done the agents course, I would recommend my agents course, which will give you a comprehensive framework and the details. And I like to do a little hands-on stuff. So there is a Glean AI course that I had published earlier, and then Glean added an agent option in there. So I ended up adding a new lesson. For those of you who have taken my Glean AI course, I added 4 more lessons on, what is agents in Glean and how do you create an agent and things like that. They have multiple options using a template or a prompt. So this is one I wanted to show you. Should I do the template one? Let me see. All of those are 5 or 8 minutes. So I'm going to go back to us doing this from scratch. Now we have come to this exciting lesson about how to create agents from company search in a previous example when we looked at competitive analysis. And it also did web search in that same example. So this is a drag and drop interface many companies have. That's what we're going to do here. But I also want you to understand the other options. Think is kind of a hidden step. So you want the agent to do some things, but you don't want it to be a response that it is giving. So it could be an intermediate step. And then response is how it's going to give a response back to you. And the other thing is it can take some action, and it can follow specific guidelines and execute specific steps. And then all actions can be those available from Glean, such as searching a company, searching for a code base, or looking at emails, all kinds of different search essentially. Or it can be by different data source. So we saw in our previous examples that it was doing a search on the public internet, on Brave. It looked at Salesforce as the database in the sales example. It could be looking at something else. It could be looking at Jira tickets. So these are all different data sources that it can access. So I am going to say read a document. And I'm going to say this document is about Glean agents. So the instructions we have given is what documents to read. In this case, we just have one document. In fact, you can set the document or the URL, and I'm making it manual. It can be the specify the document. And in this case, I'm giving the name of the document, or I can give a URL where it can go pick the document. And the other thing is, it is going to use a large language model. Remember, an agent AI is going to automate by the reasoning power of a large language model. So I'm going to show you the default is GPT 4.1 in this case. We had seen a different GPT model that was used in one of our previous examples. So you click down and it shows GPT models. So you can say, okay, what are other models that's available from OpenAI? And you can pick what is a reasoning model like O3, or you can pick a general purpose model. Or I can say, I want Vertex AI, and you can pick, say, a Maverick, Llama 4 Maverick, or I can go back and say, you know what, I want to use a Vertex AI, but I want to use
Okay,
something
so I'm
that's
going to
very
pause here.
fast.
You get the idea. So what I'm doing here is simple drag and drop that Glean has offered, and I have a course on Glean right here where I'm showing the agents. There are many, 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 many such tools that are saying, hey, you don't need coding. And what they are doing with agents is they are connecting to an LLM and they're giving a choice of LLM or defaulting to an OpenAI or Gemini. And then they are giving you the option to drag and drop. So you start the agent. What I showed you earlier is the framework of planning, reflection, understanding the tools, understanding your data sources. That is very, very important. So that basic framework is something that you need for all agents. But outside of that, when you use any of these tools, they have a lot of drag and drop options to build workflows, to automate things, have the Mac or multi-agents talking to each other. So you should play with a bunch of these. Many of these are like free up to a point, and then they start charging because they're connecting to LLMs and it's going to cost token cost. So don't burn too many trees by connecting to random LLM to just run things without ethical use cases or good use cases. But it's worth trying some of these. This is what you learn from Yash Asa in the basic webinar, but then she's going to show you how to use Crew AI, how to use, I think she also has another one called N8. N8N is like a hot new agent building tool these days. So she's going to be, building up to that to, teach you more. Right. So I just wanted to give you an idea for those of you who have taken the agent AI course and understand that there's these agent building tools everywhere. They say it's drag and drop. It's not just drag and drop like block programming. It is understanding what you're building with agents and why. Okay. So with that, I'm actually going to show you the last piece, which is the career pivot planning framework. So let me share my screen one last time, and here it is. So this is on Trello. So what I've been saying is learn a code, learn an AI, understand the foundation in 1 hour. But when you think about it, I'm very big on, especially with Deepika in my team, I'm very big on making sure that, set some dates, have some project management. Aspiration is different from implementation. If you don't build and implement, then you might not feel great about yourself and feel like, oh, I'm not learning AI and this is hard. It's not. So the way I've created a framework is, if you're pivoting into a new industry, this is a generic one that can apply to anything, but you apply to, AI. So, what industry or function you want to pivot to, what did you see yourself doing in this new role, your soft skills and knowledge and experience. Don't downplay any of that. This is all like part of career pivot counseling. So I'm just, got a lot more of the soft skill stuff. And then define your own success. How do you define success? Just don't say, I get a job, right? Is it landing in a job or making a certain salary or a certain project achievement? Make it very tangible, right? And do you see this as a stepping stone to something bigger, or is that the goal? And then this is what I've been talking about today about, give the first step is to get the knowledge or foundation, courses, and track your course progress, do something hands-on, be part of a community is coming next. like my learner community, Business School of AI, engage with the community that gives you, other colleagues who you will see are in similar stages. Then once you join a community, identify the different communities. Is it meetups? Is it, fellow classmates? Is it some forums, right? Uh, and then how do you plan to contribute to it and track your progress? Just don't be part of a community for the sake of, listening in, because that will overwhelm you and you'll have more. And then understanding the lingo of the industry and the jargons in the AI space, especially, and then how does that tie to your job search, and how, and LinkedIn has a lot of capabilities where you can look at a job, and then they have a lot of AI which basically says you're fit to the job and matches and see what the gaps are, and maybe you have that skill and you just have to add it to your LinkedIn profile. So you can do that every time you look at a job. I recommend a lot of jobs. These days, I don't send it in the newsletter that goes out to my mailing list. So LM has taken that to actually update that in my Jamthe newsletter, Limitless newsletter. It's called Limitless is the name of my newsletter. And this is on LinkedIn. And we post here just before SudhaLive each month. And this is my community. Love you guys. And the main thing I want to show you is list of jobs. So we have collated a set of jobs and added links here, added a bunch of reading material. The Texas link I showed you for finding the good use cases is also here. So usually the list is much longer because it's holiday season. I have a shorter list here, but specific student opportunities, various different opportunities of jobs, which are real jobs, and sometimes there'll be events and publication opportunities for research papers and stuff. So that's all in the Limitless Jamthe newsletter. So you can just follow this, and come January, I will again collate and update add a new newsletter in January with the latest job. So if you are in the job search mode, be sure to follow this Limitless newsletter of mine on LinkedIn, and I will bring you the latest jobs. And in the meanwhile, I hope you follow the a structured career pivot planning, so that you can track your progress and feel good at every stage, reward yourself. And then I think if you spend 1 hour and take any course, mine or anything else, that would be a great start. And then engage with the community so that you kind of keep yourself accountable, and so that you can keep learning and demystify the jargons, and make sure that it's ethical, it's good use cases, so you feel good about this. When this whole AI plays out and you see all the news, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history and being the bad guy using or misusing AI, and doing using the power of AI to do good for your community, or your career also is meaningful, but your career could also do something good for a community or a use case for our customers. So with that, I'm just going to take one last look at any questions or comments right here on LinkedIn. And thank you everyone for joining me. I really appreciate you showing up before the holidays. As I mentioned, if ELM, can you just add the link for the weekly wed? Oh, you have added it here. Thank you. So if you sign up here, we will make sure that I'll send this holiday learning plan, and then you will get to know about the next weekly wed and other events and stuff that happens. And we are doing the SudhaLive. I'll be doing the next SudhaLive middle of the month. I believe Jan 14th is that Wednesday, back again in January. And Jan 10th, we have Yash's webinar on agentic AI, implementing agentic AI as a hands-on lab. So that's a free webinar. You can check it out and see whether you want to follow up and take a more hands-on course from her. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for making me smart, hanging around with me through the new whole year. I appreciate it. Happy holidays, and I will see you in the new year. Bye. And thank you, LM, for all your support here and all your emails and contribution through the year. And thank you, Deepika. Thank you, everyone. Bye. With that, I'm going to wrap up.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Going to stop the recording now. Okay. Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.